Madam Deputy Speaker, there is an elite dining club called Leaders Group. It is a club exclusively for the super rich. To join, you have to donate £50,000 to the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party's website describes the group as follows, and I quote, "Members are invited to join the leader and other senior figures from the Conservative Party at dinners, PMQ lunches, and drinks receptions." I say described because, as the Daily Telegraph reported this summer, the page has been quietly removed from the website along with the public register of the Prime Minister's dinners with the party's biggest donors. Madam Deputy Speaker, I draw attention to this because some of the Conservative Party's biggest donors are property developers who qualify for membership and will have attended those dinners. In the Prime Minister's first year in office, the party opposite has received more than £11 million from these super rich developers and construction businesses. These people have paid small fortunes to sit down with cabinet members and to talk about whatever it is property developers like to talk about with people who decide planning policy. £11 million is a lot of money, but Madam Deputy Speaker, with this planning white paper, property developers have really gotten value for money, because this white paper is a developer's charter. It strips away local oversight of planning applications, with pre-approved applications in designated zones getting an automatic green light. It significantly raises the threshold needed for Section 106 requirements, meaning for many more projects, developers will not need to provide any contribution to affordable housing. It cuts away what the government calls red tape, rather than learning the lessons from the Grenfell Tower tragedy and the need to raise standards and safety. And as the campaign to protect rural England highlights, while there are no new protections for green belts, the plans instead weaken protections for undesignated green spaces in what the campaign describes as a free-for-all for development. The president of the Royal Institute of British Architects has described these plans as shameful, and that it could lead, and I quote, to the development of the next generation of slum housing. Housing charity Shelter say social housing could face extinction under the plans, and dozens of my constituents have told me of their concerns. They fear for our green spaces under these plans, which too often are already under threat. They know that the priority for Coventry is council and genuinely affordable housing, but that these plans do nothing to meet that need. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, while this white paper is a good deal for developers, for thousands of people in Coventry struggling to pay rent, for those on the housing waiting list, desperate for a decent home, and for people praying to get on the housing ladder, it is a rotten plan set to make a bad situation worse. Instead of a planning system rigged for developers, it's about time we put human needs first. What that means, Madam Deputy Speaker, is the biggest council house building programme in generations, with local councils given power and funding to build the homes people need. It means rent controls, and ultimately, it means a government that's no longer in the pockets of developers. Thank you.